The Torah teaches in Devarim 27:17, "Cursed is he who moves his neighbor's boundary marker." And let all Israel say, Amen. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day number 3 of Torah portion Teitzei. Let's continue in chapter number 22, and let's also then read verse number 5. "A woman does not wear that which pertains to a man, nor does a man put on a woman's garment, for whoever does this is an abomination to Yahweh your Elohim." Hasatan's purpose in World War II was not only to attempt to destroy the house of Yehuda through the grand plans of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi regime, the Third Reich, but also to destroy Western culture. It was during World War II that American men, by the millions, went to the battlefield, and the women left at home went into the plants and factories to build the American weapon machine. So the ladies showed up at work to build tanks and airplanes and to assemble weaponry. And when the men came home after winning the war, the women, in large part, did not want to give up the paychecks and the ability that they had gained of constructing things and building things in the factories. So now jobs that were traditionally held only by men are competed for by men and women. The result of this is many children were left at home without sufficient parenting. Family members stepped in to make up the slack. America went on. Traditional values were held in place for a season, but by the 1960s, coupled with the insurgents and the education system, especially in the university systems, by socialists and those who had a devious plan of destroying the traditional human family unit, children were turned on their ears, questioning everything that was of traditional value. Whatever mom and dad said was old-fashioned, out of date, and they needed to learn what was new and now the new normal. Well, this system has continued on and on until we have today the potential for someone not only to be a male or a female, they can be a cat, they can be a rabbit, they can be gender neutral, they can be gender fluid. There's some 70 different genders, we are told, of what a human being can actually be. I have often referred to this as gender confusion, but I don't know that there's so much confusion as it is gender demonism. Let's make no bones about this. Yah established the boundaries between heaven and earth, between light and darkness, between what is clean and unclean, that fruit should have its seed inside of it and not be some other means of replication or inability to replicate because it's a hybrid. Yah created mankind, and then he separated mankind. Much as he did, he created the earth and the world, and he separated heaven and the earth, the spiritual from the physical realm. He created mankind, and then he separated 2 genders, not 3, not 10, 2, male and female, a man and his wife. That's been Yah's plan all along, because in the coming together, in the intimacy of marriage, in the beauty of love between a husband and wife, there is the joining together again in singleness, that which is male and that which is female. And in the rabbinical teaching, which is a beautiful thought, is that in between the opposing faces, as one looks at the other, the presence and the face of Yah is found in between. Yah is about restoration. That which he has divided and that which he has separated There is holiness. There is set apartness. There is purity. There is wonder in the restoration. There's going to be the same in the restoration of the two houses. If we can have 70 different genders, how many houses are going to then lay claim to the restoration process? How many cultural religions are going to lay claim? How many demonic doctrines are going to lay claim to what Yah says belongs to the house of Yehudah and the house of Israel? And so we find then this verse that says that a woman should not wear what pertains to a man, or a man that which pertains to a woman. In the cult shrines where prostitution was an act of worship to a demon idol god, men would cross-dress, dressing themselves up in a feminine attire, and then through a perverted version of physical activity. I'm trying to be careful here. Acts of worship were offered. Women gave themselves freely and constantly as an act of worship. This is perversion. It is the losing of one's rational, reasonable mind. So what is this about wearing? The phrase here is lo yihyeh kli gever al isha. Literally translated, there shall not be a tool or implement of a man upon a woman, implying that she is not to carry the tools or the working implements of a man. That is, it would suggest that Yah has certain roles that he wants men to play, and he has certain roles that he wants women to play. Now, that does not mean that a woman is relegated to house cleaning, washing clothes and dishes, and planning meals. A woman can, according to the book of Proverbs, be industrious. She can create. She can engage in business transactions. She can look on a field and choose to buy it. She can invest. She can find many expressions of doing something beneficial and helpful to herself and to her family. On the other side of this is that men need to work. Unfortunately, we have males, I don't know if I say men, but we have males still clothed in their pajamas in the middle of the day, hiding out in mom and dad's basement and trolling on Twitter and other social media, trying to wreak havoc and quote-unquote slam people. The problem is much of America looks at these Twitter endorsees or participants and thinks this is mainstream thought in America. We're allowing our confusion, our deviations away from what Yah has designed to bring us into utter darkness and to demonic mindsets. A man needs to work. Whether he has an axe in his hand felling a tree, or he is working machinery, or he is working the fields, or whether he is in the factory, wherever he is at, whatever he has calling to do, he needs to work. The idea that we can sit back and do nothing on a consistent basis does not fit the plan of Yah. Yah, in short, wants men to be men. We've been shamed from being men for a few generations now. That masculinity is a terrible thing, that is a disease that we need to be rid of, that is something that we have to apologize for and something that we have to shun. So we teach little boys in kindergarten to put on makeup and confuse them about what gender they are. This is demonic. This is not a choice. This is the doctrine of demons. May Yah help the body of Messiah to rise above this, become men and women of Elohim. More tomorrow, and until then, shalom.